gifts in the healing and the me that remains. Coming out of the dark, stepping into the day. It's taken me months of days and years finding my way. When I look in the mirror, so much has changed, but I recognize a light in my eyes that never did fade. And I'm gonna find, yeah, find and revive the me that remains.
The title track of the record. We're going to move to one of the, what I feel is one of the most fun songs on the record, called Till We Get It Right. When you get to listen to the record, it's kind of like, I don't think it was intentional that you did it this way, but it almost plays like the old vinyls. Like side A has a vibe and a feel, and then you flip it over, and then there's a whole other. So this would be on side 2, and Till We Get It Right. It's kind of funky. It's kind of groovy. Talk a little bit about this song, and kind of like, it's got a deep message in it, disguised in such a kind of a dancey thing. So
yeah,
tell us about that.
Well, the song was written by, Till We Get It Right was written by Mac McAnally and Caroline Jones. And we recorded it in our last session. Because by the time we booked that third day of recording, you know, Mac said, "Hey, I got some songs I want to play you." a good song plugger. And Ruby Amanfu called me like 2 days before that session and said, "Hey, that song we've been working on, I think I've got it hooked." And I went, "Well, great, we've got a session booked. This is great timing." And anyway, but you know, Mac McAnally, he has gotten so many awards for his musicianship. He's a great songwriter, and he cut his teeth playing guitar in Muscle Shoals. He was a session player in Muscle Shoals from the time he was a teenager, like mid-teens.
Yeah.
And it just has a classic R&B feel-good vibe. And thanks to Mac McAnally. And
who has, by the way, probably the best hair in the business, right? I mean, that guy.
His hair is so thick. He said when he was a kid, he was embarrassed to go to the barber during regular hours. He didn't want anybody else to hear what it was like. So he would go at the end of the day, and the barber, they were just like.
It's like
he's such a great storyteller.
It's like cutting a hedge.
My gosh, he's such a great storyteller. I wish we could have had like a recording just of all the conversation that was happening in the control room.
Yeah.
Because he's always telling a story. You know, he was Jimmy Buffett's band leader for years and his producer for many, many records. And he was telling one story one time, you know, Jimmy was a pilot, and that they had flown to some island, and they had with them somebody. I used to have a great memory, but you're just getting barely details now. But Jimmy Buffett made everything exciting, and he laughed about everything, no matter what happened.
Okay.
And so they land the plane offshore, which the island, I'm sure they thought it was going to be a drug run, because you got a seaplane that's coming in unannounced. Yeah. And Jimmy tells Mac, his kids, "Y'all jump in the water." Mac said, "We're in the water," and machine gun fire opens on them.
Oh my gosh.
I think a few strays hit the plane. He said Jimmy Buffett was just laughing.
It's amazing.
I know. So these kind of stories, part of all of that feeling goes into the music you're making. Yeah. The stories that everybody has to tell. Sure. And like what you cooked for lunch in the kitchen, and then everybody ate it. I mean, you know, it's a creative project. It's not just like you mechanically write the songs and go in, and all of life goes into it. And that's the meal I want to share. I just want to share a great
I think
life
you
meal.
can sense that when you listen to the record. It does feel like people were in the same room at the same time making music,
Yeah.
which is not how it always happens anymore. It's not there's anything wrong with that, but there is something about looking you in the eye
Yeah.
or looking at the bass player drummer when you're playing music. There's
Yep.
just this connection,
Yep.
right?
It was the same players on all 5 sessions.
Okay.
And and it was just great.
Well, Matt, can we roll a little clip of Till We Get It Right? This is such a fun song. Hope you enjoy it.
Ordinary fool could see that the thing about you and me, even when we disagree, we're gonna hold each other tight until we get it right. Till 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 we get it right. Hold your temper, pinch your fit. Talk it over and apologize. We ain't never gonna quit, whether it's easy or it's otherwise. Till we get it right. Till we get it right. Ooh. Till we get it right. Working on it.
All right, that was a little clip of Till We Get It Right. For those watching on Instagram, we're sorry the video does not play for you, but you're watching all of the behind the scenes. So hopefully we don't say anything that, we shouldn't say or whatever, but you're getting the behind the scenes.
Yeah. And that guitar solo.
Oh, yeah,
Rob
Rob.
McAnally was playing
Yes.
that and doing such a great job.
Yeah. When you hear the record, it goes on for like 2 minutes, like the old school guitar solos. We love it.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to play a couple more songs.
Fantastic.
Talk about it.
Yeah.
This one, we're going to do a hard left
Okay.
as far as like feel and also what the lyric was about. The song we're going to talk about is How Do We Get There From Here?
Mhm.
And we're going to play a little bit of the clip here in a minute.
Fantastic.
So this was a collaboration with the amazing Ruby Amanfu.
Yeah.
And it's a heavy song as far as what it's trying to communicate in our world and culture today. And it was also, like I think you said, the song came together almost at the last minute.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it was written, but there was still some pieces that were just not finished yet.
Right.
And it all came together. But I'd love for you to tell them about just kind of what was the genesis of this when you, Ruby, and some other artists had a shared experience together.
Okay.
Yeah.
This was all in 2023. And we were home from the road on the last Monday in March, 2023. And I kind of hit the ground running in Nashville, and my phone just kept blowing up. Text, has anybody heard from Cindy? And then the news came in, and there had been a shooter at a school, the Covenant School. And I mean, anyway, it was gut-wrenching. And the friend that we were all checking on had been killed. She was the substitute teacher that day, and we'd all been friends for a long time. And anyway, a few months later, several artists were invited. Somebody organized artists, songwriters, singers to go to the state capitol. We were going to meet with Governor Bill Lee. We were going to talk to legislators on both sides of the aisle just to say, what can we do to make Tennessee a safer place? And then we were invited to use our voices, our platforms to speak about what we experienced. And anyway, months went by, and I just I deliberated, what is there to say? I felt the legislative gridlock because everyone's just shouting so loudly their rights this is my right. Don't take away my right, my right. And it just, everything felt so divisive. And I kept thinking, if we could agree on a common goal, we can find a way to get there, whatever that is. And so in my attempt, late fall 2023, I wrote the first verse and chorus, and I had some version of the music, but I thought I want to reach out to another artist who was there. And I had Ruby's cell number. I don't even remember her giving it to me, and I reached out to her. And, we just were both working hard. We traded texts back and forth, a few phone calls. And then sometimes life is full and you just will return to a creative idea the same way you would return to a painting. I think I'm going to make a few adjustments. Oh, I've got time to really think about this. And she just happened to reach out to me in April of 2025.
Wow.
Was it March or April?
Yeah.
And I think it was April anyway. And she said, hey, I think I finally finished the song. And just the timing of it, I said, I'm going into the studio this week.
Yeah.
Like, do you have enough for us to actually record? And I played it for Mac, just, whatever she did on her cell phone. He said, let's do it. And so, but I don't know. There's a phrase that Jen Cook and I say to each other all the time about things in life, things with just life. And we'll go, oh, it all worked out just like we didn't plan. It all worked out.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think if you have an attitude, if any of us has an attitude of welcome, the good stuff and the bad stuff.
Yeah.
You're like, okay. Well, what are we going to learn from this? But I was so glad to welcome Ruby and her creativity and the timing of it, that we already had the players booked.
Interesting. Yeah.
And 2 days later, she was in town and came and sang with me. A crazy thing about this video was that when we were creating the video, the two directors said, I want you to sing this song sitting very close to each other and looking each other in the eye, which, by the way, was very emotional, and neither one of us was expecting that. But for Ruby and for me to be that close to each other, and it was emotional for us. And I thought, how often do we, you really only look somebody that close up if they're your child, or if it's, your mate. But humans don't very often just give each other their full attention and look that close. And you almost I felt like I was looking into her soul. I pictured the little girl moving to the States from Ghana, all the familiarity that she left, and coming and building a new place. I pictured aunts and uncles and cousins all left behind. I just looked at her beautiful face. I looked at her dark skin. And I thought, how different has your life been than mine?
Yeah.
And I was just like, I woke up several mornings in a row, and all I could picture was Ruby's face. All I could picture was looking in her eyes. And I thought, it should be some kind of therapy when you have to problem solve.
Yeah.
Or even anything, but to just look at somebody at close range. It was very compelling to me.
We're going to queue up, play that in a second. It reminded me of this great Stephen Covey, 7 Habits. The habit was seek first to understand before trying to be understood. And isn't that just so much about where we are?
Yes.
Right? We're always wanting to be understood first, instead of like, let me understand your perspective. Let me hear your experience, and let me try to see through your lens. Hey, I may not agree with it. I may have a different perspective, but I at least want to listen
Yes.
and take the time to hear that. So when you're sitting that, like you're saying, that close, you're really, I mean, just by proximity of physicalness, you're seeing her. You're trying to see her. You can't help it. You're that close,
You're that close.
you know?
Yes.
And that's just such a great takeaway from the song for me of like, gosh, let's just listen to each other for a second.
Yeah.
I may not agree with you. We may approach the whatever it is differently, but I at least have to see you.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see a clip from that.
Get there from here. How do we take the next step? How do we get there from here? Instead of saying we're not ready yet, how do we learn to trust each other instead of living life in fear? How do we get there from here? How do we get there from here? How do we take the next step? How do we get there from here? Instead of saying we're not ready yet, how do we learn to trust each other instead of living life in fear? How do we get there from here? How do we get there from here? How do we get there from here?
Yeah, it's a special one for sure. All right. Well, hopefully you're still with us because we have a lot more to talk about. But if you're interested in what you've heard so far and want to get a signed copy, here's what you do. If you're watching on TalkShopLive, click the shop button. If you are watching on Facebook or Instagram, comment the word shop, type the word shop for links to order. And if you're watching on YouTube, click the link in the description.
This feels like da 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 da.
Yeah, exactly.
Da 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 da.
So now, okay, we'll just pivot. So hold that up again. This is the album cover. If you haven't seen it already. I didn't introduce myself?
Reid.
Oh, hey, this is Brian on Team Amy. This is Amy Grant. We're just kind of talking about music
Yes.
and the project that she just completed, about ready to come out. Okay, we're going to play a couple. We're going to get to the album cover in a couple minutes. So a couple other special things happened on this record.
Mhm.
What was that old? Is it? I think it's a Sly Stone song. It's a family affair. Is that Sly Stone? It could be. I don't know.
believe so.
I-
Yeah.
Whatever. This record has a little bit of a family affair on it because Vince sings on it.
He sings on one song.
And
then-
what else?
And Sarah, my daughter
Sarah Cannon. Yeah.
Sarah Cannon sings on one song, and also Karina.
Karina.
They are the high and low harmonies
Yes.
on either side of me.
Yes.
And
And there's a connection with one of the songwriters, Sandy Lawrence, for
that's right.
6th of
Sandy
January.
Lawrence, yeah, Sandy Lawrence wrote the 6th of January, and Sandy's son is married to Jenny Gill, the oldest of our blended family. So we share grandkids.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, she delivered that song to my front door.
Yes.
That was fun. Yeah. And then another great thing that happened, this was so beautiful. So Karina came and she said, and she sang her part on The Other Side of Goodbye. And I so loved watching her creativity. Can I tell this
Sure.
short story? And Karina, she said, she was talking to Mac McAnally, the producer, and she said, I spend so much time singing harmony parts to a song called Beautiful Lone Companion. And she said, Mac, as long as we're in the studio, I'm not asking to be on the song, but can I just go in the vocal booth and will you play Mom in my ears? And can I sing on the mic? Can I sing with her all the different parts that I sing listening to it in the car.
Hmm.
And she said, I'm not asking to be on the recording, but will you just let me have that experience? And Mac, I thought it was so wonderful. He said, Karina, you're going to spend your entire creative life taking ideas that are in here and putting them out, and then you'll know if it's good. You take what's in here and put it out. And anyway, and so she went and got her book, and she had actually done a whole chart using solfege. Is that
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. All these parts. And Vince and I were both there, and every line, she just one take. And he was like, another track of that, another track. And anyway, we actually had other instrumentation, augmentation on that. We took it all off and just let it be all of her ooze.
That's awesome.
I know. And it was just, once again, just creativity and getting to enjoy that, and so much exploration.
Yeah.
And anyway, and we're going to do, we'll do all that as much as we can live.
Yeah.
The day the record comes out.
So that has to be really special because and I'm a parent, my kids are totally into other things that are not what I would do. You know what I mean? And that's great. They have their own path, but how special it is that you're an artist, you've put music out in the world, and yet you have a shared experience with not only Vince, you do that every year with Christmas shows, but your daughters. And just the combination of that, how it just all gels. It's almost like the Von Trapp singers. It's like, it's just a magical thing that's it's just special. It's different,
It's fun.
Then, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, okay, I have a little bit of a fantasy that at some point we would just do at least 1 or 2 shows just for fun. I mean, hey, at a club that seats 3 people and have the whole family.
Oh, that'd be great.
Be musical. And, just because, I don't know, it'd just be fun.
And your encore is so long, farewell, I'll be to say goodnight. So we're going to play there's a medley of a couple songs. One of them is called Friend Like You. That's the one you did with Vince.
Yes. And Chris Seaton and I wrote that song.
Okay.
And Vince is singing it with me.
Yeah. Chris Eaton, he's an amazing songwriter. He also wrote Breath of Heaven with you. That's kind of one of the earlier things y'all worked on. Yeah. Then the second song that's going to play is Nothing Like a Sunny Day.
And these are all just choruses of the song. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm going to park on Sunny Day for a second, because since I've known you, being outside, putting bare feet on the grass is one of those, it's just the thing that brings you such joy in your life.
Yeah.
And the song is, when they hear it, it's just so much fun, but there's still a connection to it. Like, people outside, they can connect to nature, they connect to their creator, they connect to a lot of different things. For you, when you're outside walking, what is that special connection that you find that's different than somewhere else? There is just something that's there, I think you've said.
Well, yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter where you are outside, it kind of reminds you that every one of us is very small, in light of the great big world.
Yeah.
And I mean, just the healing properties of standing barefoot. What I love, frequently I'll wake up before the sun comes up, and I'll go stand outside, and everything looks very gray.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'll go, I know how vibrant this grass is. I imagine what the sky is going to look like.
Yeah.
I planted flowers. I know, but everything just looks like monotone. But then as the sun comes up, and the light, it's when the light shines on something that you see all the vibrancy. And I think it's good health to let the sun shine on your face. And
it's free.
And it's free. best
We
thing.
don't have to pay for sunshine.
We don't. I know. Yes, it's free. God, that's the best thing you've said. Yes, sun shines on everybody.
So then the next song in this medley is the closing song on the record, The Other Side of Goodbye, which we've kind of talked about a little bit with Sarah and Karina.
Yeah.
But there's a line in there, I can't forget my mother's face. And it was, I mean, we don't have to go into the whole story, but like,
It's about when the moment
Yeah.
my mother passed,
Yeah.
the moment she passed away.
and that left such a mark on you, the look on her face. Why and what was it?
Well, she had been eyes closed for 2 days,
Mm.
you know, and my mom spent the last almost 3 weeks of her life here in our home with hospice care.
Mm.
And so, you know, we have a big family and everybody was coming around. And anyway, I've been saying for years, she passed away 15 years ago this month.
Mm.
But when right as she was taking her last breath, the look on her face was such joy, it's just like I described it. It was like a kid on a carnival ride. I was like, what is she seeing? And I mean, it instantly changed my feeling about death.
Mm.
I just went, I mean, I know that's not everybody's experience, but I learned, I trust my mother.
Mm.
And anyway, I was taking a cup of coffee to a house guest, an old friend of mine, Mel, and we were in the middle of a project that was concluding. And she's a great photographer and had taken all these photos. And she said, "Do you want to see any of these pictures?" And I said, No. We'll have time for that on the other side of goodbye. And I'm leaving her, and she said, "That's a song. Write it down." So that was
great.
years after my mom passed. But thank you, Mel, for making me write that down, because so many times it's just something you say in regular conversation.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody else says, "I've never heard it said that way," and I love words.
Yeah.
And so, I count on my friends to go, "Write that down.
That's good.
That's a song." And so it was just melding a lyric idea with a real life experience, which I would like to say about this record. It's all real.
Yeah.
Nobody's pretending to be something they're not.
Yeah.
And life is beautiful.
I love that Mel had you write that down. It's very much like Ringo Starr in the Beatles. He would say, "Well, man, it's been a hard day's night." And it's like, that's a great title. He would just say these little malapropisms or whatever the word is.
Yes.
And
He spoke that first.
he spoke that first.
Yeah.
And it's so many of the Beatles songs were just Ringoisms that he would say, just throwing them away. And they're like, no, let's write that.
Yes.
Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, let's hear a little bit of Friend Like You, Nothing Like a Sunny Day, and The Other Side of Goodbye. Hit it, Matt.
It's a friend like you, somebody who will always be there, in the highs and lows, in the dark and cold, in the middle of the night when I feel alone, and nothing in the whole wide world is ever gonna come between us, together to the end. I'm blessed to have a friend like you. A friend like you. There's nothing like a sunny day to get you smiling. Nothing like a sunny day to ease your mind and chase those clouds away. All I wanna say is nothing like a sunny day. Like a kid on a carnival ride, like Disneyland without any lines. Fireworks on the 4th of July, we'll all be singing on the other side, on the the other side of goodbye.
All right. That was a nice little medley there.
Good job.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. So we're going to try to flip to some Q&A. I'm going to look through some questions that people have sent in.
While you're doing that, I want
Yeah.
to say about Brian Ward.
Oh, no. Say something nice.
Okay, so Brian, I have had a real uptick in my online presence, and it's because different people have helped us on the road. Eva Drennan, several people filming things on the road, but we send them to Brian, and he's creating a social media presence because all by myself, I have nothing. And this record, because Brian is also a musician, but he actually said, I think we could tell a story with these songs. We were so busy making the record, and you sequenced it. And so the sequence of the songs was his idea. And then I made one swap, and that's it. I can't remember what I swapped, but it's so much fun to be part of a creative team. And a lot of times I get the attention because it's my face on the record and my voice, but I just think about so many people that are a part of any creative effort. And you're a big part of this one. Good job.
It's a good gig to have and fun to do. So, while I'm looking for some questions, a lot of great comments, but I'm trying to find a question.
Okay.
Talk about the album cover a little bit, and you can talk directly to them, because that is something different
All right.
than
Here's
we've
the
done
album
before.
cover.
Typically, we'll do a photo shoot and we'll shoot 3,000 pictures and try to find 5 or 6 that we like.
Yeah. And for what it's worth, I've never picked a picture for a record cover. Ever. Pictures are taken. I'm like, choose something you like. I don't want to, don't tell me. I don't. Yeah. It's just like, oh, well. But you were the one who had the idea to work with Wayne Brzezinska. Wasn't that your idea?
Yes. Jennifer and I kind of talked about it and said, what do you think? And she's like, I love Wayne. And so I can do a little setup for that, and then you can talk about the rest of it. Because all the details. I just thought, listening to the record, that this tells a story. This tells a large narrative, an arc, and I'm like, it feels like it has weight, and it kept reminding me of like Joni Mitchell covers, when she would do the self-portraits, and I'm like, what if we commissioned someone to create a piece of art that represents as many things possible in the record? Wouldn't that be interesting? And so I mentioned Wayne to Jennifer, and she's like, oh, I love Wayne. And then Wayne said, oh, I'd be honored to do it. And then I didn't really give him any notes. I just said, just come to the house and meet with Amy, and you guys just talk and figure it out.
Yeah.
So then you can take it from there.
Well, and we were recording background vocals as
Yes.
part of the record.
Yes.
And one of those days, the first day he was here, I wasn't actually singing the background. So I said, hey, we've got to cook lunch for everybody.
That's right.
And so I love to cook. And so Wayne and I were just like, every activity that we did, he would be asking me questions, tell me collections you had when you were a kid. What are your favorite books? He was just like asking, he was I guess just trying to get a feel for me.
Yeah.
And then 2 days in a row we did this. And then if I would tell him something that I was fascinated by, or something that I had collected, or when I was a child, this mattered to me. Like at the end of that chapter of the conversation, he'd say, can I take that with me? Whatever it was. Like a Christmas ornament, part of a puzzle, part of a collection, something I'd had for decades, Yeah. I mean, it was like, and I felt sort of like, I was so glad. I knew he was doing some kind of a multimedia project, but I was a little sad because I felt like I had told him things that really mattered to me, and then he took those things. And I said, will I ever see that again? And then he And then I saw what he did.
That's a lot of release to let something that's close to you go.
Yeah, it's just interesting how like little things that wouldn't mean anything to anybody else, but they mattered to me.
Yeah.
And he took so many of those things and created an album cover, which I think is interesting. What this reminds me of is when I was a kid, the only way to hear music was on records,
Yeah.
either a 45 or an LP.
Sure.
And, you know, of course, there's no video component. When I was a kid, I was spent hours, even a boring record cover. You just look at every little piece of it. You read all the fine print. You know who played on everything. You
Yes.
know the songwriters.
Yes.
Because all you had to do, it's like in the morning, what did you do while you're eating your cereal? You read the cereal box.
Yes.
And I know I sound like I'm 65, by the way I am, but I loved that Wayne created something that even the experience of looking at it felt reminiscent to me. I was like, this would make you want to give it your attention. And so, yeah, and it actually is an art piece, which is cooler than the record cover. And Vince bought it for me for my birthday.
Oh, nice.
And so, I know. It's just great job, Wayne. He did such a great job.
Yeah. And we just heard this week it won an award. It was
Yes,
submitted for kind of like for illustrators and creatives, the equivalent of like the Grammy or American Music Awards for our vernacular. There were 6,000 pieces of art submitted, and that cover was selected as one of the top 5% of winners. So go Wayne. Good job.
Good job, Wayne.
Good job. It just, I think when you all hear the music and you look at the cover, because there's a lot to look at in that cover, a lot of details in that, from childhood Bible to quilts to a mirror. There's just all kinds of things in that. I think, like you were saying, when you would get albums, you would just look at things, read the liners, and as you're listening to the music, you know, I think people when they get a hold of that, they'll experience the same thing as well. So
I hope so, and I hope it reminds you of like what are things that matter to me? What are things I've collected? It's like for every person to kind of go, if I were going to do a collage out of bits and pieces of my life, what would that collage look like?
yeah.
This could be a post-show art project. Oh my gosh. Make a collage backstage. This is how it starts.
There you
Everything
go.
starts with an idea. It's fun.
I love that. Well, I'm trying to find, like, there's a lot of great comments. A lot of people are resonating with things that you're saying about the songs. Like, I had a shared this. People are saying I had the same experience with my mom. I had, similar experience with another song. So it's great. I'm just trying to find a question.
Not one question.
So
But
he wants to know
there's.
where the art piece is now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the art piece is hanging, on our wall. Yeah, and that's where it is. And honestly, what I would love is in a live setting. Like, I would love to drag that art piece with me.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Because it's layered and it's multimedia. I don't want to hurt it, but man, I would. We talked about they're doing some illustration or something at the new Gospel and Contemporary Christian Music Museum here in Nashville. There's so many great. There's the African American Museum music. There's the country music. Nashville is such a celebration of music. But man, to me, doesn't matter if you know me or not. There's something about a collage about any person's life that makes you think about layers of your own life.
Exactly.
So I would vote to put it at that museum for a while.
Well, I'll ask this last question and we'll wrap up for Talk Shop Live. Here's my last plug. Okay. We're plugging.
Plug it.
If you're watching on Talk Shop Live, click the shop button. If you're watching on Facebook or Instagram, I should have this memorized by now. Comment the word shop for links to order. And if you're watching on YouTube, click the link in the description. So, Amy, you've spent, when any artist makes a record, there's the writing process, there's the recording process, and sometimes that takes a short time, sometimes it takes a long time, and you're in it. You're just in it all the time. And then it's done.
Mhm.
And then it's like, well, now it's out there. Let's see what people think. But there's the live expression of the songs.
Yeah.
There's the recording of it. That's one experience. But you've now started, especially the last 3 or 4 months, been singing some of these songs live.
Yeah.
So I'm always curious when an artist has recorded it at one point in their life, and then months later, a year later, whatever, they start singing it live. How do some of the songs take on different meanings? And have some of the songs, when you first recorded them to now, changed for you?
Well, I don't know that they've had time to change yet,
Okay.
but I've so enjoyed having new music to sing.
Mm.
And I love a great story. And some of these songs
Yeah.
feel like a great story. And yeah, I so look forward to telling the stories.
Mm.
And yeah. And then I'm so curious. Could it be that any one of these songs might be something that somebody would want to hear again?
Yeah. Hit repeat.
That's the real sign of that's a sign of a good song.
Well, thanks for joining us on Talk Shop Live, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, wherever you've joined. The record is called The Me That Remains. It comes out May 8th in just a few weeks. There's vinyl, there's CDs, there's signed stuff, and
Do they make some cassettes?
I was going to say, well, now she spoiled it. The spoiler alert. We have made a short run of cassettes, and we'll put those up on the website or somewhere soon. But yes, we did make cassettes because apparently people love cassettes again.
Well, that's fun.
And Walkmans, like Sony Walkmans, those are going to have a resurgence, just like the flip phones. If they get to 8 tracks, then I'm going to be really excited because I had a lot of those as a kid. Anyway, thanks for joining. Thank you, Amy, for spending the time. And grab a copy of the record, have a good listen, get a coffee, and just sit and listen to this music and let it wash over you. Thanks so much for joining.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks
See
for
you
your
again.
time.
Bye, Instagram.
Bye, Instagram.